Hello. Hello and welcome to the much belated Monday musing. So I've returned, and at least I hope you guys can hear me okay. So as ever, let's have a quick look at who's in the chat, and if anybody's there, if anybody's out there, I forgot that I actually do a Monday musing, so I'm not quite sure how many people are coming along, but welcome. Can you all hear me would be a nice one at the bottom of the chat. So here we go. What have we got? Johnny Rockstar was in with an oi oi right from the start. So claim the first there. Funbug number one. Hello. Icaria. Hey man, how you doing? Jamie Bates. Evening all. Stu Rat. Watching from work. I think we have to whisper that, but that's cool. Don't get caught though. Underdog Painting. Oi oi. Savaloy. That's in the sausage. Oh, boys, evening. Let me see. Vaughan Killian saying hooray for a Monday musing. Thank you. Funbug one, number one was saying really enjoyed mine and Jack's bat rep last week. That was filmed about 4 weeks ago. So, if not longer, it was before I hurt my back. So, I almost can't remember what happened other than it feels like it didn't go well for me. But then again, when do the games ever go well for me? Hello, my fellow nerds and nerdettes from the Caria Johnsonators here. Hi, evening dudes and dudettes. We can hear you. You're going to ask that. Yes, I am. I'm so afraid of technology. The sound is fine. Hola from Bartman as well. Bartman, greetings from Ireland. Welcome from Ireland. I'm glad you could join us. So, here we are with a Monday musing. I got a little bit terrified on the way of setting this one up because I've not launched our broadcast software for some time. And I think as soon as I launched it, it decided to update itself and catch up with like a whole bunch of stuff it's done over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So basically for the last 15 minutes, things have been working, then they haven't been working, then they have been working. So it's all a bit scary. And I tried to phone Sam, but Sam did that whole, I know why Phil's calling me. He's calling me because, you know, something's gone wrong. So he just ignored me, as he should, to be honest. It's his night off. So, right, Monday musings. Well, first and foremost, we're meant to talk a little bit about Genestealers. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on what we can see on screen there, the Warhammer community. In particular, probably maybe have a quick look at Necromunda. I know Sam's already been bagsying some of the teams. And what I was going to do as well was kind of have a look at a couple of things I've done, limited hobbying work I've done on my Genestealers, and a little bit of KR case trickery as well. So, right, quick one with a chat again. What have we got? Hey from Sean Blake. Neil Young, greetings from my couch. Hey Neil, welcome. You're probably more comfortable than I am right now, but I am on the mend. Michael Thomas, hey everyone. Michael Thomas, that's the Mike. That's like Mike's cool magic smoking Mike's Sunday name is Michael Thomas. I like that. Hey Mike, how you doing? Sean Blake, how am I feeling? I'm feeling fine, thank you. I'm on the mend. I had a bit of a crazy day at work today, and I've got a crazy day at work tomorrow. So I've had to do some fine balancing between getting upright and doing things and laying down and relaxing. So what else have we got? Lots of Magic Mike comments. I've got a feeling in my absence that Magic Mike's magicness has overtaken my beardness, to be honest, as far as the channel's concerned. But maybe I shouldn't have had that beard trim after all. I don't know. Right, let's get started. Well, please post comments and put them at Wargamer Online so I can pick them out easy. That would be nice. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to all the people who've been tuning into the YouTube channel. It's continued to grow. We did our 6-month chat the other day, didn't we? Where we clocked 6 months and 6,000 subscribers. So that's an amazing achievement. We're really pleased to it. Oh, I think also public announcement as well. I'm happy to announce, or at least, fingers crossed, I'm happy to announce, we think we've resolved the last of the issues with the website. So everybody should be honky-dory and should have access. It was only a few users in the end that were actually affected, but because we tend to panic a little bit about customer service, we want to make sure everybody's happy. We kind of went out there and went, you know, can everybody just check their accounts and things like that? But in the end, it was just a few people that were affected, and hopefully they've all been resolved now. So, but yes, the good news is it's up and running, and that means we can now start to work on some of the stuff we wanted to do, such as like annual subscriptions, Platinum plus Super Magic Mike level subscriptions, where you get dedicated videos by Magic Mike. And then also, there's been quite a bit of a call for us to launch a WGO sort of community forum, which is a possibility. So again, I'd appreciate any comments on that if people would think that's worthwhile. Hi Mike, I enjoyed your bat rate too. Oh, I've not seen Mike's bat rate yet, so don't know spoilers there. Although I think, to be honest, Funbug, you probably went on to spoil it, but don't worry about it. I'm sure we'll get there. The game at the weekend was insane. I put a short video up on the Facebook channel. Didn't know that I shot. That was like the only bit of footage I could put up, and it was when I warned everybody I was shooting some footage for the Facebook page, because I kind of went round with the camera. You know, sneakily filming bits and bobs, but it's just couldn't be put up on either the Facebook page or the channel. There was way too much cheese bickering going off. It was hilarious. I lasted. We probably should explain what was happening there. So there was a doubles match taking place between Rachel and Pink and Liam and Sam. And there was 1,000 points each in preparation for a doubles tournament that's coming up at the Leamington Gaming Club. And I went along knowing that I'd struggled to do a full game, but my son Jack was kind enough to say, well, let's just take 1,000 points each and see how we do. He wanted to try it as Mechanicum. That was his first game with Mechanicum, and he wanted to get some practice in before we do a bat report. I'd wanted to try out my Eldar. I'd not have much chance to play my Eldar because when 8th edition came out, Mike was kind of playing my Eldar because it's predominantly painted army, and I've been playing my Tyrannid, so it was nice to try the Eldar out. And I was also fielding the Wraith Seer and the Warp Hunter because I'd picked up the Forge World book, so it was fun to try those out. I mean, D weapons are not what they used to be, but they can still pack a punch. That's what we learnt in that game. But the Mechanicum stuff is interesting. One thing I did notice though is you definitely feel like, and I think the index users will feel this more as time goes on. If you're using the armies out the index, and you start coming up against the armies with the codexes, we might start feeling a bit of a pinch. You know, that's happened in the past with sort of codex creep. I think it's going to be a little bit different this time, that's all. And I think they have at least tried to answer some of those points in the community by giving some sort of changes to the core rules to even things like the boots on ground rule and things like that. But I do get the feeling in playing Eldar, it felt like I just didn't kind of, I think, have enough unique rules to them. I'm not asking for a load more power, I'm just asking it to feel a little bit more flavoursome, I suppose, is what I was looking for. Bear in mind, I wasn't playing the new Anari faction, I was just playing standard Craftworld. Right, let's have a quick look at, I rambled on there, didn't I? Let's have a quick look at chat. So, nothing bigger than the beard. Thank you, Michael Thomas, you're an angel. Matthew Judge, evening. Returning player after 20-year break. What's everybody's thoughts on the new codexes? Well, that would be a good one to open to the chat, because I'll tell you the truth. In my absence from doing anything other than laying down and feeling sorry for myself, I've not had a chance to catch up on the new codexes yet. I do plan to get, I think, probably the digital edition of the Grey Knights. And I know that Sam... oh no, that's a good point. Someone's just pointed out there's no chat on the stream. Oh dear me. Right. I don't know whether I can fix that in time. That would be something that I really would need Sam to fix. I could switch over, but I'd have to break the stream. This is a catastrophe, isn't it? This is an absolute catastrophe. Blast. Let me just see if any of the other ones have got the chat piece in there, but it really doesn't look like it. So apologies for switching things over there, but I just wanted to see if any of the other frames had the chat in. No, I really need Sam to send me the code. I doubt he's online, but if he could message me the code, maybe I could add the box as we were going live. Who knows? Right. Well, of course I was bound to mess something up after returning for a few weeks. OMG, it's Wargamer Online as well, which means it definitely is Sam. Oh, come on, Sam. Hi, everybody. By the way, just finished Game of Thrones, back to hobby now. Let's not get into spoilers for Game of Thrones for those who've not seen it yet. Matthew Judge only brought the Forge World indexes at the moment, so not really sure. That's an answer to Matthew and the codexes. I quite liked, obviously we've got the index books and the Forge World books. Hey, the Forge World books were okay for me. Again, it's just really early, I think, for everybody to make any kind of long-term judgment. And I would like to see some dedicated codexes coming out to give us an idea about how they'll create more flavour around the armies. And like I say, I've not had a chance to read the Grey Knight one, which I really want to do, not because I do Grey Knights, but just I'm intrigued on what they've been doing with the codexes to see how they're building up. Ryan Benfield says, hello all. Hello, Ryan. I'm sorry, the live chat's not on the chat, and unless Sam messages me the code I need to put into an item and I could have a go at doing it live. Oh, but Sam's booting up his PC and he's going to send me the code. We might be able to make this happen, guys. Let's see if we can actually oh, for heaven's sakes. Akari is trying to do Game of Thrones spoilers. Don't read on. Played a few games with open war cards. Makes for some different games. Great fun. Yeah, picked those up, actually, at the weekend and had a flip through them. That does look interesting. I know when I sort of talked about the open war cards with Sam and Mike, there was just looks of suspicion on their faces when I mentioned that. But I think they'll add an interesting dynamic, and we'll definitely do a couple of battle reports using the open war cards just to see how they play out, I think. But I am feeling the need to get an Age of Sigmar game in, I have to say. It feels a long time since I played my Sylvaneth. There's still a whole bunch of the faction that I've got painted that I've not even fielded yet. So on a battle report, that is. So I really want to have a go at that as well. So trying to balance 40k, and bear in mind that I'm struggling to do a full game at the moment. But soon, I'll be up and running again soon. Right, Red Cuffs is reporting in. Howling Madcat in bed. And Bartman says, new starter boxes for Age of Sigmar. Spider Fangs is a must for me. I'm getting a message, so let me see if while I can hardly really say you guys just amuse yourself, can I? Let's have a look at this. Okay, bear with me, guys. Get yourself a cup of tea or something like that. Oh, what has he sent me? Oh, seriously, Sam. That's just the URL of the pop-out chat. I've got that. It's the actual item I'm missing off of it. If I swap scenes but I'm still streaming, will that work? Oh, I don't know. I might try a test just so we can bring it in. Should we just do it? Right, guys, if all crashes, I'm just going to restart the stream. So bear in mind, and I will be back. This could be really quite dangerous, so let's see what happens. Okay, that's like a part success, part failure, I think. I've got like a desk cam, but I haven't got a face cam. Don't worry about it, says Sam. Right, first and foremost is everybody still there? Is everybody still there? And can you now see the chat? Yep, okay, right. Next task then is I am going to attempt to pull my cameras and plug my cameras back in and see if we can get a camera back. So this is where Sam really has a really like, what are you doing, Phil? Stop it! What are you doing? We'll do a little bit of singing as well. Oh, come on, something happened there. Did everybody see that? There was almost a face cam. Okay, come on, look at that. That's a live fixing of... oh, yeah. Come on, are we back? Are we back? Someone tell me, are we back? Am I back? Hello. Yeah, we have liftoff. Oh, come on. That was amazing. I did like a live fix of the stream. I got the chat working, I got the video working, and then my PC crashed. So, sorry about that. Sam's going to love this. He's just going to be like, God, Phil, where's your professional standards? What are you doing? Okay, I'm going to have... we're back. Ask questions. Let me know how you refreshed and now I'm behind. Oh, Stu, I'm sorry. You're back. You're back. I'm back. Come on then. Let's have a quick look at what's going on in the community, because I think it's been quite a few things that have going off. First and foremost, I am going to skip down to Necromunda. I know it's not. Looking forward to the bloopers. Thank you, Neil Young. I know it's not like the most up-to-date news at the moment, but I am pretty excited about the return of Necromunda. Just the idea of sort of cyberpunky gangs all fighting away underneath the hive. And oh no, Phil, you're just messing everything up. That's my impersonation of Sam Jamie Bates, and that's it. That's the limit of my impersonation as well. But so yes, Necromunda is back. Come on, how cool is that? Look at that artwork. It's just amazing. And weirdly enough, I didn't pick it up at all from this little from this teaser that they did of the icon. Partly because I was probably fast asleep, and partly because I probably wasn't paying attention. But I think Sam has already bagged House Escher, so we'll see what happens in terms of models and all the rest. Back in old school, of course, Phil will love it. Oh no, cyberpunk gangs fighting under the house. That's the South London. That's coming from Neil Young. Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, are we going to get the gangs? Are we going to get all the gangs? I can only hope so. No Plastic Sisters of Battle. Oh well, you know, apologies. Yeah, okay. Has anybody done a Sisters of Battle army just using Sisters of Silence, converted Sisters of Silence models? I wonder if anybody's done that. If they have, post something up on the community. Oh, so what is it? Akaria is correcting me. So it's not House Escher that he's already bagged. It's the Delac. So what are we going to do then? Anyway, beautiful new models. Absolutely stunning. Just check that out. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now Sam's calling me on Hangouts. That doesn't work, Sam. You know it doesn't. No, let's just get rid of him. Right, I'm going to have to quit that. Are you still there? So, I don't know whether Sam's trying to get hold of me or he was just setting the chat up to complain about me with the rest of the guys. But come on, check out these models. Whatsoever. Sam's ringing everybody else. This is new to me. Started 40k in 2016. Okay, so it was a spin-off game, basically. I'll give you the rough background. It was a spin-off game, and it was gang warfare below the sort of the lower grounds of the hive cities. So yes, as Neil Young is saying, it was a skirmish style game. You just had a few models. Armageddon was a kind of almost a Necromunda re-release, but in Armageddon you actually play sort of kill teams of factions from 40k armies, whereas Necromunda was all based around these gangs that were fighting for, you know, gold or you know, whatever, and you know, just to survive and to rule. So it enabled you to do all these really cool sort of cyberpunk looking models and conversions, and very much like how you see a lot of people do sort of conversions on their Inquisitor retinue and all the rest. So yes, very excited about that. Can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait to see the models coming out. Be really, really happy when we do start to see them through. And no doubt we'll be covering a little bit of it. And I do think sort of combining the Armageddon scenery along with the sort of standard scenery and having some fun with all of that. And maybe even using a little bit of my Zone Mortalis board as well to kind of do some great fun gang games will be great. So, on the chat, other than lots of people going lol at me because they're just... Surely by now you guys are used to my inability to master this broadcast technology, so I'm just going to go through it all. I did play and enjoy Shadow War, so I'll probably have a gander. That's coming from Ryan. Epic next from the Orc Boys. Well, I hope so. But I don't think it will be the Epic we've seen. Well, it's the one that sort of Forge World has been showing, which is, I think, if I remember right, the 8mm scale. So it's up a little bit. But looking forward to that. And that looks predominantly about Titans. Oh, Neil saying all hail the beard. I don't know why you're hailing me seriously, mate. I can barely keep a broadcast up and live, but at least I'm trying. And what have we got? Johnson 8, can't wait. Necromunda was the first GW game I played. House Escher for the win. Well, there you go. I think it did introduce quite a few people into it, didn't it? Because it was that lovely sort of crossover game. Didn't require a lot of money to get up and running. And as a game itself, it played really well, really fluid and a lot of fun. So I hope there will be convertible. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, looking at the models we've seen so far, you know, the first two there, yeah, they don't look too bad. The weapons aren't too close to the chest. I think you could do some work with those. Your main issue on something like that is there's quite a lot of detail on the hack's handle, and the hands are based on the hack's handle, but that doesn't stop you changing the weapon over. Quick snip there, quick snip in there, and you know, I think, you know, around each part of the hand and replacing the weapons. I think they'll be okay. What else have we got? Big Rich, hi, just got home from work. Hello, Big Rich, thanks for joining us. Psy Mini coming in, Avast me hearties. Nice piratey theme to there. Necromunda / Epic Titan Battle's gonna have no mini soon. Well, I've seen what you've been buying, Ikaria. I'm surprised you've got any money at all. Roa saying, hello. Neil Young, if I buy Necromunda, my wife will divorce me. I've spent a fortune lately. Who hasn't? Who hasn't? The release schedule is punishing. It really is. It's, you know, I'd like to say, you know, I've managed to show some self-restraint, but I really haven't. Although from a channel perspective, we've kind of focused on the Primaris and getting a decent Primaris force built up for Sam, which of course you all know the ongoing saga of Sam getting his Primaris form, Primaris army painted, because he's had so much to do in terms of his what has he been working on? Well, he started off with Grey Knights and then it ended up being Custodians, didn't it? So he's ended up doing sort of 2 40k forces, and of course he's been working like an absolute trooper, doing battle reports, painting tutorials, and a huge amount of editing in these last few days. So Sam's really been kicking it out there. So yeah, big up to Sam and give him some support, everyone, and lots of hugs on social media, because he's been working like an absolute trooper. What do we got there? I think they're going to be multi-part. I hope so, because it does make a lot of fun if they are. It could be used on Battlefield, Gothic, Epic, and then 40k for some great campaigns. Agreed. I mean, that's the one thing that we're still very much in the fledgling stage of, but trying to get into that position where we're going to be able to do campaign game base on the channel as well. It's something we want to do. It takes a bunch of effort, and at the moment, the level of output we can do is a challenge, you know, because obviously once we get into a campaign, you're going to want to see regular updates. So I think probably the best way we're going to do that is once we get the craziness. For me, the summer is quite a busy period on my day job. If we can get that out of the way, and that's not been helped by the fact that I've, you know, been off work for a bit with my back. So get that out of the way, and then what I might try and do is take a few days off and spend some time filming games inside a campaign and see if we can get some interesting content out where we go from one format to another, but all within the context of the same campaign. Right. What have we got here? At Neil Young, at least you have a wife to divorce you. The rest of us nerds have to rely on posters of Scarlett Johansson. And I think it's Johansson, isn't it? That's actually how she says her name. Anyway, so many new stuff, I must say, for when the Guard Codex drops. Yeah, that's coming from Ryan Benfield. And Jax, my son, is in exactly the same place. He was out of love with his Guard. He played a game against Sam that wasn't filmed for a battle report. That was Guard v Custodes, and I think Sam put a photo online about it. And yeah, that was just a filthy game. Not helped by the fact that Sam was deep striking his Custodes against Jack's Guard, even though Custodes can't deep strike anymore, can they, Sam? Right, okay then. What else have we got? Vanda's Hammerhand releases been crazy these past months. Primaris releases almost weekly, then Codex releases hardly ever, with Primaris Age of Sigmar version 2. Death Guard in September. My poor wallet. Yep, absolutely. I know that Jack's got his eye on Mortarion, but after the taster game he had with his Mechanicum at the weekend, he's also going, I could do with... I wouldn't mind one more Mechanicum starter set, he said to me as we were coming home from that game. Right, how was Sunday's game? I've covered it a little bit. I played briefly with Jack. We got to turn 3, and that was Eldar featuring the Wraithseer and the Warp Hunter. That was... I tell you what, while we're on this, let's oh, that's kind of worked. There's a light in there, but that's okay. What happened? Yes, we got to turn 3, and my back just gave in, basically, so I couldn't play on. But what happened was the Mechanicum were absolutely grooming against the Eldar. They just ploughed them down. He was using the sort of the teddy bears, as we call them, the robots with all of their wonderful orders and all the rest, and double rates of fire and etc. Saying that, I had the Wraithseer and a unit of Wraithguard with the axes, and sort of charge them across the middle of the field through hails of fire, basically. Got some pretty lucky rolls on the saves, given that they're all walking around with invuln saves. And the Wraithseer was pumping out sort of the D-cannon shots as it approached as well, so it managed to do quite a bit of damage. And then when that unit of Wraithguard got in there, my God, I rolled well, it's got to be said, but oh my, they hacked away. It was fantastic. So where the game ended at the end of turn 3, I think I was on 8 or 9 objective points, and Jack was on 2. And we'd kind of said, okay, we're at the end of turn 3, even with a couple of turns to go, he'd never catch me on objectives. And I was too mobile for him to wipe me out. I'd still got a Warp Hunter that was untouched, hiding behind a building. So I could have just keep scooting that around the table. And, I could have easily lasted 2 turns with the units I'd got left on the table. But it was one of those, I'd say that's kind of like a victory on point, but I lost so much, it didn't feel like a victory sort of thing. So we decided the noble thing was to not really call it one way or another. It was a draw, and we walked away from it. Right, what else have we got? At Barman for the CEO for a fashion textile company called Fongs for the Memories. They build boutique beachwear for ladies. Ikario, have you been trolling LinkedIn again? Okay, that was probably in answer to a question, isn't it? What's my day job? I work in an agency, so yes, I'm a director at an agency. There we are. That's all I'm prepared to say, because I tried to keep the day job separate from Wargamer Online, if that's okay with you guys. And it's only from a point of view of I like the separation. I do this to get away from the day job. It's quite a stressful day job, so I tried not to let the two mix. What have we got? Mortarian looks awesome. Elster Nation. Hey, Elster Nation. Evening all. How goes it? It doesn't go as well as you, mate. You're just pumping those armies out at the moment. So those of you who have not seen Elster Nation's output at the moment, he seems to do an army a day. It's just insane. And I even actually thought about getting you to do an army for me. I was thinking maybe I should give Elster Nation a call and see if he could sort something out for me, because I'm so far behind with my painting, but it feels like cheating. Well, for me, because, you know, I'm meant to be painting myself. What do we got? Kablams. Kablams is baby making. Oof. What, while listening to me? That's not advisable, surely. Life begins at 20, says, evening all. It's worth keeping the Primaris Marines from the starter box for a Space Wolves army, or sell them off and pick up the starter Space Wolf box. Brand new player here. If you want my opinion, I would have some fun converting the Primaris into Space Wolves, just because I prefer the scale. And if you are a brand new player, then if I were you, might not be popular with the rest of the chat, I don't know, but if I were you, I would be investing in what I consider the new scale of the Space Marines. You know, do some you know, YouTubing, look up basically how to do fur pelts, get some spares boxes, pick up some spare sprues off of eBay and stuff, and start putting, you know, the Space Wolf fetishes on them, the skulls and the horns and the claws. You could be converting them up now, to be honest. But you know, again, just see how it goes. But I personally, if I was a brand new Space Marine coming into the game, brand new, I'm not sure I'd buy the smaller scale Space Marines anymore. Mum and baby are home and doing well, thanks. That's from Kablams. Congratulations then, sir, and I'm glad that everything's good and home and safe and sound. So what else have we got? Oh boy, you can use both. Well, that's true, actually. You can use both if you're following the narrative around the sort of Primaris being introduced to all the chapters. So you go with that way. Oh, what you want a nasty yellow unit, take Scorpion. Pricey to field in, but with some luck and amount of firepower, it's insane. The Scorpion, okay. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Right, Mr. Neil Young saying his AdMech is awesome. Sadly, he can only roll ones, however. Yeah. I seem to be cursed with that same problem as well. But last time I mentioned that on the chat, I got some hate for basically moaning about dice rolls. So I'm not going to do that. I can roll things other than ones. I can roll twos. Especially if I'm re-rolling ones. Right, here we go. What have we got? Primaris are kicking my blood angels every time. Yeah, I mean, just straight out, they're just powerful, aren't they? Kablams, I'm sorry. I'll not go there again. Primaris is the way forward, yes. There seems to be some agreement then in the chat, doesn't it? I wish I'd never made the baby making comment now. We'll move on from that, please, in the chat. Life begins at 20. Thank you so much for the advice. I can only assume you mean the Primaris stuff. Right, okay, Johnny Rockstar. Not had much luck with my Blood Angels either, to be honest. I've not played against them in the new rule system. I mean, yeah, it depends how many games you've had. I really struggled with Eldar, and this is the first time it felt like I'd bent my head around the mechanic of the game to understand where armor piercing comes into play now, the role of toughness, and more importantly, your opportunities to generate mortal wounds. So to a degree, there are some decision-making factors, I think, when you're building your list that are kind of similar to the kind of mortal wound metric, if you like, that you get with Age of Sigmar. When I looked at this list, weirdly enough, I've seen a post where, it's all about AP, but I've seen if you're up against an army that has backup invuln saves, the game isn't all about AP. A good example of that is, the Custodies carrying the shield, so they've got a 2-up save or a 3-up invuln save. So anything above a greater AP than -1, unless they're using cover, which, let's face it, with a 2-up save and a 3-up invuln, our Custodies going to bother hanging around in cover. Anything above a -1 AP, it just gets negated. So what you're really thinking about is how many shots can I generate to try and force the failed saves. Okay, -1 pushes it at least to the 3 for the invuln save. or you're looking at generating enough mortal wounds to negate the invuln save. But again, on multiple wound things, a single mortal wound just doesn't do a lot. Just, it might finish a model off, it might start some damage, but it's a challenge. It's a challenge. There's that balance between generating enough shots out of the shooty army, or like I took the gamble with my Eldar list. I abandoned all of my usual tactics of being quite shooty and just went fast and hard with the Wraith Guard units. Just drove them right into the middle of the Mechanicum army, advanced right up the field. My entire army was on the opposite deployment zone pretty much by the end of turn 2, except for the Warp Hunter giving supporting fire from the back. So it's just, bending your head around the game is just, it's interesting as we're all trying to learn this. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you for thank you for the offer. And like you say, you understand it feels like cheating. I should be doing it, and plus, actually, I should be painting, and I should be filming, and I should be editing. So I just need to get on with it. I just need to check on time. How am I doing on time? Wow, it's only like 9:37. That's gone really quick. I thought that was. I thought we were. I thought we'd be much later than that. You'll get used to it, Neil Youngfield, Gilliman, and you'll get used to buffs every time. Yeah, Space Wolves Thundercavs are nasty with those shields. Fast, hard hitting, and really, capable of lasting. So, yeah, I've not come up against Gilliman yet either, and Magic Mike, when he's not at the club dancing, he's working hard on his Ultramarines. So I dare say it's only a matter of time before I come up against that. Right, I don't know whether I'm just going to try and flip to there you go. I can flip to the desk cam. I was just going to show some of my work. So again, not a lot happening at the moment. I think I mentioned to you guys, and all I've managed to do is get the base coat on, and I did post it up. Believe it or not, that was meant to be a purple, and the accursed purple-blue colorblind struck again. And after I'd finished painting them, or putting the base coats on them, and I've done the prime, and I've done a bunch of Genestealers, which I've posed. I quite like the arms down pose with Genestealers, the kind of scuttling along the ground, rather than having the arms out. I don't know about you guys, but that's my favourite pose for Genestealers, and there's a really logical reason behind it as well. Is they don't commit suicide every time you take them in and out of a carry case, because the spiky bits don't jam in. So there's a tip for anyone who's trying to build those bad boys. So yes, Jack came in after I'd finished painting and laughed and just went, "So you went with blue?" And I had to take a photo and send it through to Sam to actually check whether I really had painted them blue, because I was pretty certain they were purple. And much to Sam's amusement, he did actually confirm that I'd done them blue. Right, what have we got? Let's have a quick catch up on chat. Okay, right, that's why you need a Scorpion on Wraithless. Have a big tank shooting at 60 inches, 4d6, shoots strength 12, AP 4, damage 3. that is filthy. Damage 6 if you roll 6. Crack any single model in a volley. Very nice. It can even handle a horde if you high rolls on the number of shoots. Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, the Warp Hunter came in quite nice. It held its own at the backfield. It doesn't need line of sight, so I was dropping the 36-inch D. It's not called. It's a D flail, so it's got a 36-inch shot, which I was just dropping in. Doesn't need line of sight. Really, really useful. And Jack tried to charge it twice, and in both times then the 12-inch sort of D-flail shot kicks in, automatic hits, and just does sort of D6 damage, D6 wounds. So really good. It's got a defense mechanism for up close against charge. It's pretty fast, and you can give it the sort of crystal targeting matrix, which means you can still fire your heavy weapon without the -1, even after you've moved around the board. So Interesting to see how many of those we'll see back on the table. I have to confess, my Warp Hunter, I bought one because I liked the model. I built it, I fielded it once, I saw the faces of my opponent, and it went back in the box, and that was about 3-4 years ago. So that's the first time it's come out the box in about 3 or 4 years. And yeah, the faces weren't exactly smiling every time it opened up, but I don't think it's as powerful as it once was. Would it help to label those pots? Yes, it would. And here's my confession. Here we go. Let's see if I can actually find it. There you go. That's, oh wait, hold on. Let's get the desk cam back up if I can. As you can see, clearly labelled. I did about 5 paints and I didn't label 2 of them. And one of them was blue and one of them was the purple I wanted to use. And yep. So yes, make sure you clearly label your pots. Otherwise you are heading for trouble. What else have we got here? Show us your Genestealer. I did show you my Genestealer. Colorblind Man, biggest admech shock is the Squishy Belisarius call compared to the earliest. Oh, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Oh, yes. I mean, he was incredibly powerful before. I've not come up against him since the rule change, so I wouldn't know. That's a really nice purple. What is it? Oh, come on, guys. Stop it now. Right. I tell you what. Let's see. Let's see if this fits on. So I wanted to have a quick look at what else I'd been working on. So this was the other thing. Wow. Will it work? There you go. This was the other little piece of goodiness that I'd purchased, and essentially this is the Imperial Armor Valkyrie Sky Talon, which is designed to carry, if I can just hold that up a little bit closer, it's designed to carry a vehicle. In fact, there you can see it, the Tauros. So you see the Tauros upside down being mounted within the grav hooks there, or the magnetic hooks. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to convert this to carry. So I'm just going to get this out and see if this works. There we go. Let's at least get those pieces out. So what you've got is a complete new cockpit, which I really like. It's nice and small, just a single part. So there's a single bit, there isn't the co-pilot. This bit goes really neatly onto it. And then the engines mount on top of that. So although it's pretty much as you would expect, standard Valkyrie working. But the thing that I want to do is I want to have it carrying one of these crates with magnetic arms, if I can get the angle of the camera right, with the magnetic arms kind of fastening, you know, and admittedly I've got to do a bit of pokery and a bit of extension and stuff on the arms, but sort of grabbing the side of the tank like that is my plan. So the idea is to use it as a standard Valkyrie, you know, transporting troops. I even had an idea of sort of arc welding, sort of cutting a hole in this and sort of, you know, welding a bracket, if you like, and putting a heavy bolter poking out the side with a sort of cultist little firing the heavy bolter out the side of it, because that's part of the official the official specification of the model, isn't it? You can have two sort of hull mounted heavy bolters. So that's my plan, to give it a little themed lifter. The only big change I'm going to do with the wings is I'm probably going to cut the wings short and or completely replace them and have 2 sort of gyroscopic lifting things at the side of it, so it's like a heavy lifter. Oh, and the last thing to do is I need to extend the legs so it sits, if I can demonstrate this, it will sit a little bit higher than it's originally meant to, because in the original model its foot sort of ground level would be about there, and as you can see from that I need to bring ground level down to about there. So that's my plan. That's my plan. I'm pretty excited about that, because that's almost all cleaned up and ready for the start of the construction. Sorry for the rattling, there's a bunch of magnetizing I need to do. So there's a bunch of magnetizing I need to do to make that work, because I want to be able to swap in and out the containers. I was going to do 2 or 3 different containers, one with a side-mounted heavy bolter, one without, and then one with sort of either Genestealers just pouring out the back almost, just from a you know, sort of a cool-looking point of view. Right. That's a really nice purple. What is it from Felarg? Thank you very much, Felarg. I haven't really been keeping chat on who was making the comment, so sorry about that. Sane says if it's a GW Citadel paint, you can peel off their existing label and stick it in. And you can indeed, as demonstrated by... Whoa, if I can find that. As demonstrated by that label there. I really like these larger dropper bottles. They give you a little bit more room to maneuver. And yes, as you said, you can just peel the labels off. But unfortunately, that wasn't. That was a Minotaur paint. And these labels are an absolute bugger to get off. So I didn't get anywhere with that. Right, what are we doing? I'm going to do a check-up on the chat. I'm going to see if anybody bothered to ask any questions. And as I said, it might have to be a short one tonight because I'm not very comfortable. Oh my goodness, I've missed loads of chat. That's brilliant. What have we got? Diddly. I've been there, Phil, coming from Kabams. Phil, how goes the city board? Can't wait to see it. Well, nothing has happened in 4 weeks. That's the truth. And it's going to require a big push now to I think get that city board up and running. So I'm going to need to do a hobby weekend. So I'm going to shout out Hobby Team Assemble and see how many people I can get round to my house on weekend to get that thing painted. It's basically built. It's at a stage where it needs painting. Certainly the boards are built, so they need painting, and there's some waterworks to do for the canals and stuff that were built. And then I think what's going to slow it down is getting the actual buildings done. But yes, you know what? I might post up some photos because I don't think I've ever really featured any photos of the work I've done so far on the city board. So I'll dig some photos out from when I was doing the modelling and post them on the community group. Boys is colourblind with red, green and blue purple. I'm okay with red and green, so you've doubled up on me. The Valkyrie kit is such a pain. Don't know. I don't know whether it's because I've done about 3 of them. I don't find it a problem. Do you get the full Valkyrie plastic sprue in that kit? Yes, you do. Yes, I think you do. By the looks of it, I seem to have everything I need. It might be missing one of the sprues, the main body. I can't think is in there. I'm thinking about it. But I may have just thrown that into my... I'll tell you what, I will confirm that back to you, but I'm thinking maybe not now. It's almost an Eagle craft from Space 1999. Yes! That was the only cool thing in Space 1999. That's from Matthew Judge and Neil Young. Yeah, it does have that Space 1999 feel to it. And I like the idea of coming up with custom rules where it can kind of fly in and drop the crate off and leave. And then horrible gribbly Genestealers can pile out the back of it. Don't start making me jealous by telling me you've got a model Eagle kit, because that will make me jealous. I think my brother had one when I was a kid, and I was always really jealous of it. Adrian Trevor saying he wished Games Workshop would release their paint in droppers. I am with you, because I've spent a great deal of time. This is going to be shaky camera work, so forgive me, but let's just, if I can, just give you some indication of excuse the noise, but you'll get an idea as they go off into the distance there. That's my shaky cam / view of repotted paints going off into the distance. So I'd love it if they did. Akaria is asking, where do I get my Minotaur paints from? Well, UK based. I go to Steve at Barwell Bodyworks. So check him out. I think I've linked to his site a couple of times on the Facebook group and stuff like that, because he's an absolute top bloke. He shows up to some of the events. And in fact, I think if you look at the video we did of ChillCon, there's a little bit of Steve doing a airbrush demonstration, and that was when I picked up my Patriot 105, which is an absolute beautiful brush for undercoating and base coating. It could probably do more as well, but that's what I've purchased it for. So Barwell Bodybuild Works, and I'm fortunate enough to be only about a 30-minute drive away from it, so I go and pick them up as well, because it's always good to have a chat with Steve. Once Spaz 11, I made it, better late than never. I'm really sorry, I am running out of steam, so I'm afraid you've come in pretty much at the very end, I suppose. But thank you for joining me, it's much appreciated. It does. Right, no, Neil, he doesn't come with a Martin Landau. Right, what have we got? Just mixed up pink with warm grey. I can see that happening. I see pink as grey too, yeah. I can see that happening, because that does... The pinks are a challenge for me, and I don't know whether that's part of the purple blue. Akaria, Phil, thinking of getting the Badger Chrome. Any experience? What about the Renegade Sirius, Velocity, Jet, Rage? I got a confession. I've got all of them, but they're amazing. To be honest, I think they're absolutely amazing brushes. The Chrome was the only one I didn't have, and that's because I've got Saltar 2020, and that was kind of what I used for all my fine work. To be honest, I don't think you needed it. I got the Spirit for doing things like boards and scenery and stuff like that, because you literally can take the Minotaur pot and just screw it onto the airbrush, and just airbrush straight out the top pots of Minotaur. So if you're doing scenery and stuff like that, it's absolutely ideal. So the Spirit's really useful if you've got big scenery projects and stuff like that, and I mean, that brush just keeps working. It's amazing. But yes, a good range of brushes. Kablams. I love how the paint stretched off into the darkness. So much atmosphere. Yeah, they just go on and on and on. It's too many paints. And there was somebody actually, I think, posting on one of on the community Facebook group, which I should plug. So if you're not a member of the community group, that's on Facebook. Go along to Wargamer Online Space Community and join up. But there was a whole bunch of people chatting about how many paints they've got, and there was some big numbers being swapped around. Right, okay. I don't like droppers, waste of paint for me, but they're more convenient for airbrush. Yeah, they can. You know, if you're doing fine work, you can waste a little bit of paint, can't you? Because you kind of put a full drop onto the palette, and yeah, sometimes you end up with palettes. There we are. There's a classic example of Jack using... oh, can I get that? There you go. There's a classic example of Jack using a palette, and you can see he's putting blobs on, and it's just building up. What have I got going off here? I'm just checking that I'm not being told that the stream is dead or something. Right, okay, I love my Iwata. Yes, great brushes as well, definitely. I think they're a bit like, I've sort of said this in the past, I think it's partly what you grow up with. I've just got used to Badgers, how they handle, how they paint, how they operate, angle of the paint stream and all the rest, so I can just use them without thinking. And I think that's the thing, is to a degree, it's a bit like cameras, you know, you get used to a Nikon, it's really hard to swap to a Canon. And vice versa. Okay, I'm being told by Si not to push too far past the envelope. 40k is a marathon, not a sprint. Look after your back. Thank you for being understanding. I do get to a point where I reach my limit and I just have to go lay down, and I've got to be up really early tomorrow to get out to a presentation. So bring back Tuesday, work Monday, so they can't stay and play. Bring back Tuesday, work Monday, so can't stay and play. I'm confused. That might mean something. Work Mondays. Bring back Tuesday. Can't work Mondays. No, I don't understand that. But Sleepy Tiger, please, if you want to elaborate before I close down the show, then I'm happy to include that in the chat. And Ninwin, Wet Planet plus Dropper equals less waste. Agreed. I mean, that's the thing, because I tried to get Jack to use wet palettes, but he's quite lazy. So he doesn't do it. You know, he's a kid at the end of the day. You can only get so much out of kids nowadays, can't you? Right. one last thing. I wanted to talk about one last thing because this is like this will feed to Sam's. I don't know whether this is. I'm gonna have to adjust the camera. So again, excuse the noises and all the rest. But can I get this? There we are. Can I get this? This was my KR case that I purchased to hold my 2 Tyranids, and I am super happy with that. So, some background. This is meant to basically only hold one of these little beauties, but I did the classic little bit of hacking and slaying, and admittedly it's a bit of a challenge to get out, but if you do it right, you can kind of get this out first, and I'm rushing it, so that gets that half out. And then if I can just flatten that down so you guys can see what I'm doing, and then I open it all the way up and slip that bit out, that gives me my bottom half, and then all my magnetized weaponry and bits and bobs that fasten to it, because yes, I've been crazy enough to magnetize all of this, fits in there. So the reason I'm really pleased is that's just a single height case, and for a model that is as bulky as this, let's just put that bit in because I like that bit, it makes me chuckle. So for a model that is as bulky as this, with all its horrible spiky bits and bits poking off and all the rest, to fit 2 of those in one single height box, I'm just like super pleased. Super pleased. Like, I'm more pleased than I should be about that. But yeah, that was just a little bit of hacking with Scalpel, and you know, getting 2 of those in one box. That's like Sam fitting his entire Custodes into one box. It puts a real smile on his face. Okay, where are we at? I think I am pretty much coming to an end. It's 3 minutes to 10, and maybe I should just be saying my goodbyes and plugging the channel. So what have we got going off? Just a quick catch up then. Neil Young, he's obviously fairly old with that comment. Yes, mate, you did give yourself away completely. Bring back, oh wait, no, Kablams, I think Tiger meant live shows. Ah, okay. Well, yes, Sam will be doing his live show on Tuesday. Yes, he does a live show on Tuesday. I know we were Wednesday for a while, and then he swapped the live show to Tuesdays and Fridays, I think. So, and that was, you know, I think reasonably to fit in his life a bit better. Gin and tonic solves all back issues. Oh, I'm off the pop, I'm afraid. Part of the tablets that I have to take. Create new ones though. Yeah, possibly. If you slip and fall down. Frost and Fist, welcome Frost. I must have missed you joining the chat, but it's good to see you, mate. Rest well. I'll do my best. Sleepy Tiger, Steam, Night All, and Kablam saying he got his Dark Eldar Coven into a quarter KR case. What? 2K? A quarter KR case? What? Oh, wait a minute though, I know why, because they were all that. Oh, damn it, I can't remember the name of the model, but I get what you're saying. I'll check out your Instagram. Right, okay then. Good night all. Sorry it was a little bit chaotic. Sorry about the interruption to the stream. I figured it was better to stop the stream and risk getting the chat working, so it made sense for everybody who's commenting, because the community guys, all you guys that comment on the videos, are what make the videos worth watching, to be honest. I think I could probably replace myself with just sort of random robot just saying weird words and let you guys just chat on camera, and that's what people actually come along to watch, I'm pretty certain. As far as the channel, yes, please go along to YouTube, subscribe if you haven't already. There's a couple of links, I think, at the bottom of this screen, or at least if it is, if you want to support us. There's several ways you can support us. We have a website, wargameronline.com, where you can subscribe to a premium membership, which Akaria has been nice to tell everybody to link up to. And if you do that, that isn't a lot of money. It's only £2.99 in English pennies, British pennies, to be able to access loads of fantastic content, and all of it just adds up to enable Sam to do tons more, and for me to join him and have lots of fun, and for Magic Mike to be as magic-y as he is. and for Rachel to carry on investing vast quantities of time into power list building. So, good night all. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Give this video a like if you've at least found my inability to engage with technology amusing. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.